InQuizitive Quiz on MLA Citations due this Sunday at midnight. I just wanted to go over some MLA Basics with you real quick. We've gone over all of this at the beginning of the semester and then again, but I want to give you a refresher. Also, for the more specific quiz questions on the InQuizitive, you'll want to get those from the Little Seagull Handbook because the quizzes, of course, are based on the chapters in the Little Seagull Handbook. So hopefully you're keeping up with those. All right, so the basics that I want you guys to know, always endorse your essay with this information in the top left-hand corner. Write in 12-point Times New Roman font unless you're told otherwise. When you're citing your source, you do this to give credit to the writer and to show the sources you used in case someone wants to follow up on your research, right? If they want to piggyback off of the research you've done to find out more about your topic. Okay, things to remember for your Works Cited page. It should be titled Works Cited, right? Almost always you'll have more than one work, so it's going to be works plural, not references, not bibliography. That's for other citation formats, not MLA. The first line of each cited work begins at the left margin, and all the other ones are indented. This is called a hanging indent. A lot of word processing programs will do this for you. If you just select in the toolbar hanging indent, it'll do it for you. Otherwise, you can just tab over every line except for the first line of each citation. Make sure that you capitalize correctly, last names, titles. For titles, remember that you capitalize all words except for prepositions, right? Words like of, in, with, on. Conjunctions, which are your fanboys, and then the articles the, a, an. Remember that you have to cite all of your sources on the works cited and in parenthetical citations, not in either or. Always have to put them in both places. Cite any information that isn't common knowledge, right? So if you can't assume everyone knows it, then it's not common knowledge. You have to find a source supporting it. Or if it's your own original idea, right? Obviously, you don't have to cite that. Make sure that you cite your sources in alphabetical order on the works cited page, not in the order that you use them in your essay. This is just a little reference guide for you in terms of how to format names, articles, magazines, newspapers, that sort of thing. And this is located on Blackboard under course materials. So you can always take a look at this if you need a refresher. All right, so when you're writing the author's name on a works cited page, it's always last name, comma, first name. For the title, if it's a book, you put it in italics. It comes right after the author name. If there's no author given, then the title is going to be the first thing. If it's a shorter work, right, so not a whole book, but just like an article, short story, that sort of thing, it's going to go in quotation marks. Again, the title comes right after the author. If you happen to be citing a song, that would be in quotes because you consider that a short work, whereas the name of the album would be long, right? It would contain a bunch of smaller things, so that would be in italics. If you use an electronic source, remember that you always have to include an access date. That is the last thing in your citation, right? So after the website, you do period and then accessed, and you have to format the date in MLA format, which is this kind of funny, like the day first, then the abbreviated month, then the year, then a period. When you're doing in-text citations, remember that anytime you use either paraphrased information from an outside source or a direct quote, you must include a parenthetical citation, and you never want to repeat information, right? So for example, here I have a quote from President Bro, but I mentioned her name in my sentence, so I don't have to say bro 54. This is the page number, because that would be repetitive, so I just put the page number. If I don't mention her name, then I would put her name and the page number. And then here, I put the information into my own words, so I didn't use a direct quote, but it's still information from an outside source, so I have to use a parenthetical citation. I already said bro, so I don't want to repeat that, so I just put the page number. So some incorrect versions, obviously. If I said bro here, I don't say it again. Here, incorrect, because you don't want to ever put the page number in your text. If you have a page number, it always goes as a parenthetical citation, okay? So this is incorrect because I wrote out the page number in my text rather than in the citation, and it's also incorrect because I didn't include a parenthetical citation. Then remember, there's like a hierarchy of information. You just go down the list with what you have, right? So if your source doesn't have an author, then you use, the title of the work. If there's no title, you use the name of the publication. And you just follow this ranking list. You just provide what you have, right? If there's no author given, you can't provide an author. If there's no page number, you can't provide a page number. So ideally, you'll have an author and a page number. If there's no page number, just the author, no author, title of the work, not even a title of the work, just the title of the publication. And again, just remember that the less information they provide with you, the more skeptical you should be of the source. So just if you're getting to the point where all they give you is a web address, you want to check on the credibility of the source. Then here is just the basic formula for the various types of sources that you might be using, right? So we have the formula for a book, web article, essay, scholarly review, and anything that, is not here, so any sources that are a little more uncommon, you can always just go to OWL Purdue and they will show you how to cite any other sources. Okay, again, this is located under course materials for you guys so that you can reference it, and make sure that you read the chapter on MLA citations in the Little Seagull Handbook before you take that InQuizitive quiz this weekend.